Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Colonel Jason T. Cook, Commander, and Command Sergeant Major Caleb T. Ball, the Command Sergeant Major of the 164th Theater Airfield Operations Group, welcome to the 1st Battalion, 58th Aviation Regiment, Airfield Operations Battalion, Change of Command Ceremony. Today, we honor Lieutenant Colonel Travis Betz, who relinquishes command of the 1st Battalion, 58th Aviation Regiment to Lieutenant Colonel Lindsay A. Ryan. We would like to welcome our distinguished guests, Major General Michael McCurry, United States Army Aviation Center of Excellence Commanding General. CW5, Edward A. Pregana, Chief Warrant Officer, 164, Theater Airfield Operations Group. Thank you for joining us today. At this time, Sergeant Lisette Lopez Macedo will be presenting a bouquet of red roses to Lieutenant Colonel Betz's daughter, Emery, for her support, dedication, and commitment to the soldiers and family of the Guardian Eagle Battalion. Private First Class Dakota Lowry will now be presenting a bottle of Eagle Rare Whiskey to Lieutenant Colonel Ryan's spouse, Lieutenant Colonel Nick Ryan. Private First Class Lowry will also present a dozen yellow roses to Lieutenant Colonel Ryan's mother, Deborah Britt, and a single yellow rose to her daughters, Jordan and Jessica. Private First Class Lowry will also present gifts to Lieutenant Colonel Ryan's son, Jacob, and her father, Mr. Michael Brent. Yellow is the color of new beginnings and symbolizes the Ryans' arrival to the 1st Battalion, 58th Aviation Regiment. In time, the roses will blossom, as will the Ryans' relationship with the unit soldiers and their families. Lieutenant Colonel Ryan also has numerous friends and family members in attendance today. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation given by the 164th TAOC Chaplain, Major Jerry B. Young, and remain standing for the singing of the National Anthem by Sergeant Jarrell Brewer.
Good afternoon. Let's pray. Oh, sovereign and everlasting God, we thank you for this hour within our numbered days where we can come and celebrate the accomplishments of the Guardian Eagles under the leadership of Lieutenant Colonel Travis Betz and Sergeant Major Jackson. God, as we mark this change of leadership today, and we reflect in this museum on the rich aviation heritage, may we be reminded afresh, oh God, that our strength comes from you. Our strength comes from the people here in this room, and our strength comes from our leaders. So much rises and falls on our leadership, God. So we thank you for Lieutenant Colonel Travis Betz. We thank you for his leadership, his presence, approachability, sense of humor, for his positive organizational impact leading the Guardian Eagles through their deployment and more. These folks often charged with giving clear directions in the midst of complete darkness. God, go before Colonel Betz, go with him in his next chapter. And now, God, we're most grateful for incoming Commander Lieutenant Colonel Lindsay Ryan. May her command time be a blessing for the team, for her, and for her family beyond what anyone can imagine. Lord, place your hand of blessing on today's change of command. Protect us, guide us, give us wisdom and power, and we'll ask all this for your glorious name and our good. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watch was so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, those bombers seen in He'll go say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. From time immemorial, armies throughout the world have conducted ceremonies to commemorate victory over enemy, to honor their heroes, to celebrate special occasions, or to pay homage to their fallen comrades. These ceremonies in color and pageantry to military life. In the United States, the foundation of our present ceremonies were laid by the Continental Army. Today's ceremony is a reflection of procedures practiced since the dawn of our nation. The centralized presence of our nation's color in the middle of the formation represents the unified purpose of our Army and willingness to offer the supreme sacrifice in defense of our nation and stands as a rally point of strength and loyalty. Since the founding of our nations, units have carried their colors and our nation's flag side by side in peace and conflict. The unit colors represents the trust placed in us by our nation and are symbolic of unit pride, tradition, and history. Unit colors also serve to mark the location of an organization's headquarters before each company is its guidon, like their parent unit colors. It is a rally point for members of the unit and representative of unit pride. The reviewing party will now move forward for the traditional passing of the unit colors. They are joined by Sergeant Major Bryce A. Jackson, the Sergeant Major of 1st Battalion, 58th Aviation Regiment. The change of command is a simple and traditional event that is rich with symbolism and heritage. Key to the ceremony is the passing of the unit colors. These colors represent not only the lineage and honors of the unit, but also the loyalty of the unit, the loyalty and unity of its soldiers. The colors are the commander's symbol of authority, representing the responsibilities to the organization. Wherever the commander is, there are also the colors. The custodian of the colors is Sergeant Major Bryce A. Jackson, representing the non-commissioned officers of the unit, the very core of the battalion. According to military tradition, the Sergeant Major is the only member of the battalion authorized to pass the colors to the commander for the change of command. The passing of the colors symbolizes the transfer of command responsibility and authority from the old commander to the new commander, demonstrating to the soldiers of the battalion that Lieutenant Colonel Betz has passed the mantle of leadership to Lieutenant Colonel Ryan and the responsibility for the unit. By the order of Army Regulation 600-20, paragraph 2-5, the undersigned assumes command of the 1st Battalion, 58th Aviation Regiment, 164th Theater Airfield Operations Group, effective 21 June 2023, signed, Lindsay A. Ryan, Lieutenant Colonel, Aviation, Commanding. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 164th Theater Airfield Operations Group, Colonel Jason T. Cook.
Major General McCurry, distinguished guests, families, and friends, and soldiers of the 158 Guardian Eagles, thank you all for attending this change of command ceremony and for showing your support this morning for this unit, and particularly to the two excellent soldiers relinquishing and assuming command. I'd like to acknowledge and welcome Lieutenant Colonel Betz's daughter, Emery, and Lieutenant Colonel Ryan's family, her parents, Mike and Debbie, her sisters, Michelle and Kristen, and Mike, Allison, and Emily, all here from Buffalo, New York. I'd like to especially recognize Lindsay's husband, Lieutenant Colonel Nick Ryan, and their kids, Jordan, Jacob, and Jessica. This is a big day for both of these officers, and I know you're all very proud of them. 2 years ago, in this ceremony, when Lieutenant Colonel Betz took command, I talked about the Army's motto of people first, how we must focus beyond just readiness and beyond just the mission to our most important weapon system and most finite resource, our people. I then charged Lieutenant Colonel Betz to train and develop and prepare his people, that is, this unit, his soldiers and leaders, to become an effective, cohesive, and ready battalion. Since then, Lieutenant Colonel Betz's stalwart professionalism and personal leadership have been a driving force for this unit's continued readiness and success. Knowing he was training for a deployment in May of 2022, Lieutenant Colonel Betz accurately measured the strengths and requirements of this unit. He assessed the challenges of the operational environment they'd be facing in the Horn of Africa, and he ensured his people were properly trained and ready to successfully accomplish the mission ahead of them. Lieutenant Colonel Betz also knew that this deployment to Africa meant a lot more than just another rotation for the Guardian Eagles. On January 5th, 2020, during the battalion's previous deployment to Africa, one of their own, Specialist Mitch Mayfield, made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Many of the soldiers that Lieutenant Colonel Betz was now leading for the deployment knew Specialist Mayfield, so I was proud to see that battalion work all and trained all that much harder to ensure they could complete their mission and bring all their soldiers home safely. After a year in command, preparing and training his soldiers, Lieutenant Colonel Betz successfully deployed and superbly led his battalion through that 9-month rotation to the Horn of Africa, where the unit was then forward deployed to 4 locations throughout Djibouti, Somalia, and Kenya. I was very glad I had the opportunity to visit the battalion while they were over there and to see firsthand the great things that the Guardian Eagle soldiers were doing every day. By all accounts, the soldiers said they enjoyed the deployment, even those at Valladolid Military Airfield, a post-apocalyptic Mad Max-looking place, but they said they loved it there and didn't want to rotate somewhere else. That just goes to show that when soldiers get to do every day what they came in the Army to do, they can rise to any challenge or hardship. Eagles, you truly honored the memory of your brother, Specialist Mayfield, over there. I'm very proud of what you accomplished and of the professionalism you displayed to the other services, agencies, and nations you work with. Travis, I know you will attribute your success to your subordinate leaders and outstanding soldiers, which is what any good leader would do. But you, as a commander, set the climate and the culture of your battalion, which resulted in the effective train-up of the unit and the excellent professional execution of the mission over there. Well done. I thank you for your superb leadership of these soldiers and your commitment to this battalion. They are better because of you. More importantly, you've developed great soldiers and leaders who will continue this legacy of excellence. I wish you all the very best in your next duty as the USACE Inspector General. But as we lose one great commander in Lieutenant Colonel Betz, we gain another phenomenal officer, Lieutenant Colonel Lindsay Ryan. She's a seasoned Army aviator who has high standards and an impressive array of assignments, from the tactical to the strategic level. She'll be a great commander for the Eagles and is the right officer to train and lead this unit to its optimal readiness and deployability. Lindsay and Nick, welcome to the Eagles and Guardians families. We're thrilled to have you and look forward to your leadership for our soldiers. Eagles, you're an excellent unit. It has been an absolute honor and pleasure over these past 3 years as your group commander to see you train and grow and successfully deploy. Keep up the motivation and professionalism. Travis, congratulations again on this successful command. And Lindsay, I wish you the best in this upcoming command and charge you to always put your people, your soldiers, first. Major General McCurry, distinguished guests, families, and soldiers, thank you again for attending this ceremony and for your support of this great battalion. Guardians.
Ladies and gentlemen, the former commander of the 1st Battalion, 58th Aviation Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Travis Betz.
Good afternoon, Major General McCurry, distinguished guests, families, friends, soldiers. Thank you for coming out to attend today's event. 2 years passed by in a blink of an eye. It's bewildering to think that the organization has already trained, deployed, executed its mission, redeployed, and is now in the process of being reset to do it again. It's funny how all the long days and months seem to be so short when you're looking at them in the rearview mirror. Where did the time go? How did we get here? The answer boils down to it's the people that have made it happen. The people wearing these colored patches today, the people sitting in these seats, the people in the 164th DAOG, the ATSCOM team, people across this installation, across this community, across every service component working in the Horn of Africa. I could go on all day. Colonel Cook, thank you for the laudatory comments on the accomplishments of this organization. The team came together, persevered, and succeeded in so many ways. I could spend all day talking about everything we've done, but I'll reserve the rest of my comments for the people that made it happen. It's because of them I stand here with a sincere sense of gratitude, grateful for having the opportunity to work with all of them. Amber, thank you for being here today. Thank you for your love and support. I'm so proud of the young woman you've become, and I'm grateful to have you in my life. To our Guardian Eagle family members, thank you for your love and support and sacrifices you made to allow this team to conduct its mission. There is no doubt that you bear the hardship of having your loved ones leave for extended periods of time, and I'm truly grateful for all of you. Colonel Cook, thank you for granting me the opportunity and latitude to command this organization. Thank you for making our success a priority. Your leadership over these past 3 years has clearly cemented a cornerstone for the TAOG and ATSCOM family. There is no doubt that your vision and drive lead these organizations better than you found them. I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to work with you. To my Sergeants Major, all 4 of you. Sergeant Major Dodson, you are the perfect battle buddy to come into this organization with. You got my feet under me with your sound counsel, solid leadership, and superior management of the soldiers and systems in the unit. Sergeant Major Santiago, you arrived at the unit at the perfect time in our training for deployment. Your tactical insights and training in the field, coupled with your ability to positively engage the soldiers in the formation, solidified our readiness and raised morale across the formation. Master Sergeant Kessler, serving as a battalion sergeant major for several months, you filled a gap in coverage at a critical time. Your efforts and leadership were critical to our deployment, smooth entry into theater, and assumption of authority. Sergeant Major Jackson, you arrived in theater and immediately made a positive impact on our organization. Your efforts brought everyone home safe and quickly stood the battalion back on its feet. Upon return. I'm grateful for the opportunity to have worked with you, all of you. To my senior warrant officers, Mr. Olson, Chad, man, I was excited to hear you were in the unit when I arrived. Your contributions to the unit have been many. When we came up short on manning, you filled the gap flawlessly. As the OIC of Manda Bay, Kenya, you achieved absolute mission success with your leadership and ability to work as a team in a joint interagency and host nation environment. You no doubt made the most out of what you were given. I'm grateful for the opportunity to work with you again. Mr. Lambert, George, your contributions to this unit is immeasurable. Outside of your antics and predilection for taking pre-workout when you're clearly not getting ready to work out, your expertise, genuine care for this unit, your positions as the ATC commander, the standardization officer, the battalion ball cleaner, and hygienes coordinator have made this organization better. And I'd also like to give a special thanks to Jennifer Lambert for taking on the FRG with short notice and serving the soldiers and families of this great organization. I'm grateful for the opportunity to work with both of you. To my XO, Ruth, phenomenal job. Coming to us in the middle of the deployment, you were a breath of fresh air after going without critical positions filled for so long. You finished the deployment with gusto and have masterfully guided our staff as we worked to reset the organization. I'm grateful for the opportunity to work with you. To the platoon leaders, platoon sergeants, facility chiefs, controllers, primary staff, and soldiers who made the mission happen day in and day out, in garrison, in the field, and while deployed, I can't begin to describe how grateful I am to have had the opportunity to work alongside all of you. It's a bittersweet day for sure, but I'm excited about the fact that I'm being replaced by a fantastic leader of family. Lindsay, it's been a pleasure to work with you as you take the reins of this fantastic team. They're undoubtedly in good hands. All the best. Again, thank you to everyone for attending today's event. But the best, Guardians, Eagles, clear the way. Eagle 6 signing off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 1st Battalion, 58th Aviation Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Lindsay A. Ryan.
Major General McCurry, distinguished visitors, community leaders, family and friends of the Guardian Eagle Battalion. Good morning, good afternoon, and thank you for attending today's change of command ceremony. It's great to be home at Fort Novosel, and I'm honored to take command where I pinned my aviation wings 17 years ago. My parents have always been by my side for every special event, and I appreciate their love, support, and strong work ethic they've amplified throughout my life. I love you. To my sisters, Kristen and Michelle, thank you for traveling from Buffalo with your families. No matter where the Army sends us, I know we have your love and support. And lastly, to my husband, Nick, and kiddos, you're everything to me. Thank you for saying yes, even when I have crazy ideas, like traveling from split sports tournaments before arriving to Alabama yesterday. We always make it happen. It truly takes a team, and I'm so lucky to have the best. Travis, thank you for a smooth handover. You've done an incredible job training, deploying, and returning these amazing soldiers. I wish you all the best as you transition up to USACE. Sergeant Major, thank you for the communication, the professionalism during this transition. No doubt I'll learn a lot from your experiences, and I look forward to leading alongside you. To the Guardian Eagles in attendance today, I promise to coach this great team with fairness and respect, and to uphold the sacred trust with you and your families to deliver purposeful training, integrated modernization efforts, and opportunities for self-development. We'll be ready for the next mission. We'll maintain a reputation for success. We will take care of each other. Thank you for your continued service to this great nation. Beat Navy, above the best, clear the way. Eagle 6 signing in.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join us in singing Above the Best and the Army Song.
With
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's change of command. Lieutenant Colonel Betz will bid farewell to guests near the reviewing stand, and we invite you to join Lieutenant Colonel Ryan and her spouse for reception adjacent to the UH-1 exhibit in the museum immediately following the ceremony. Thank you for your attendance. Guardian Eagles.